Steve Shedd joins us here on Blitz, second-year head coach of the Lady Leopards basketball program. Coach Shedd, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate the chance to talk about Lady Leopards basketball with you. And I know this season has been phenomenal. 14-3 overall. You're 4-0 without a blemish in region play. How does this season match up to what you expected for your team?
Well, first of all, Brian, thank you very much for coming in and interviewing us today. We want to thank you for all you do for Banks County High School and all you do for athletics in Northeast Georgia. So, excuse me. Yeah, we this season has just gotten off to a great start. We had a tough non-region schedule. We always like to start out tough against a lot of quality teams, and we feel like that prepares us for our region schedule.
Yeah. All right, so the Raven County game, I mean, last year that was so intense at Tiger, and even here as well. Those were some great games. And so when you two teams match up, two great coaches, two great programs, two of the tops in 2A, but you go out there this year, just the other night, you win by 10 points. What was that like? What kind of statement does that send not only to the state but also to your own team?
Well, I'm not sure, what kind of statement it brings forth. I think definitely anytime you can beat a quality team like Raven County, it's a great thing. However, we know that we don't allow ourselves to get too high on that because, we know we got to turn around and play Putnam this Friday. And so it's just, we got to, look forward to the next game. But, going back to last year, and it's almost created a definite kind of rivalry between us and Raven. We're right there next to each other. It's a good friendly rivalry, and we respect them a lot. Yeah. We prepare almost every day for some of the things that they do. Like I said, what they do well with that full court press that they have. It just puts so much pressure on you. I thought our girls played well the other night against them. We were able to take advantage of some of the size that we had, but they're just a great quality program. And anytime you can beat a program like that, you feel good about yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a top 10 matchup. They were in some polls number 4, and you guys around 6 to 8 in different polls. And you kind of hit on this region. You got Putnam coming up, and boy, when you have already yourselves in Raven County 2 top 10 teams, and then you throw in another one in the mix, and that's Putnam County, how tough is this region?
It's a very, very tough region. If you look at, of course, you got Putnam, you got Raven, but then you also look at teams like Monticello, who's got some great talent at Monticello. You look at teams like Elbert County, who I believe beat Putnam County by 2 points at Putnam. So this is one of those regions where if you're not careful, anybody can beat you on a given day. You got to go in prepared, know what you're facing. But we feel like we always take it, like I said before, we take it one game at a time. And we know that the Putnam game coming up is going to be tough. I always tell the girls, the next game is the most important game. We're not going to look past that. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to do that because, if you're playing back-to-back, like this past week we had Elbert County, which is a region game on Friday. It being a region game, you want to put all your focus on that. Yeah. But then in the back of your mind, you got to play North Hall the next day, which is is going to be a quality program as well. Yeah. So it's hard not to think ahead, but we try our best to go one game at a time. Yeah. And
it's a cliche, but it's a recipe for success for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've done well at doing that. Mm-hmm. I try to keep our girls focused on that. Yeah. Don't look past, because if you look past and you overlook a team, then you're setting up a recipe for losing a game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way we do things around here. And but we know that it's going to be our non-region schedule was tough. We were very, very fortunate to come out of that with just 3 losses. Very thankful to come out of it with just 3 losses. Yeah. But we don't worry as much about the wins and losses right there at the front of the season. It's great to come out with against a schedule like that with just 3 losses. But we don't, it's all about getting better during that time period and preparing ourselves for the region. And that's what we feel like we've done that. We feel like we're a battle-tested team at this point.
And I think what's really cool to look at is when you look at your, wins, losses so far this year, and you look through those, I imagine you learn a lot from those losses. I know you, had a close one to West Hall, and then East Hall. and then Madison County as well. But what was really cool is you played each of those teams twice and came out with a win as well in those. So it seems like your team is learning from those losses as well.
Absolutely, that's what we try to do. It's tough to go into a season thinking you're going to win every game.
Yeah,
you
sure.
always want to. That's always your goal, but it's a lot of times not very realistic.
Yeah.
With a 25-game schedule. But we feel like the West Hall game. We have a lot of respect for the teams that we play against. West Hall, Anna McKendry, one of the best players in Northeast Georgia. She really had a great game against us that day, and you just have to tip your hat to them. And you look at the East Hall game, which was a heartbreaker for us. We lost by 1 in overtime, and Carly Winters, another great player. It was so we had to just kind of tip our hat to her. And then Madison County, which is really one of the best programs. They're kind of like us. They play a very, very tough schedule.
Yeah.
Play a lot of upper classification teams, and we were able to earn a split with them. So we were very proud of that win, and we were able to earn a split with all of them. So we're very satisfied with that, and I do believe we learned from that. You got to. It kind of tells you where you are when you play those teams. It kind of shows you, it sets the bar. And
It's like a litmus test as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see where you're at. And this right now, you're in the midst of an 8-game win streak, and let's hope that continues. But like you said, you're heading into that Putnam game, so it's really going to be tested. Does that really? What's the 8-game win streak like for you guys inside the locker room? I know from a fan's perspective, everyone's going crazy about it, but what's that like from y'all's perspective? And does that come, you think, at a good time where you're riding that momentum into this big game?
Right. We don't talk about it very much. To be honest with you, looking at the 8-game win streak, it feels great. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you have to be kind of reminded of it, because we don't think about it very much. But we're always just kind of thinking about the next game. Mm-hmm. But it definitely feels good. I think definitely when you want to go into the tougher games with momentum, and we feel like that's what we have right now. We feel like we're playing really, really well. I went back and I watched the Rabun County film, and I didn't realize how well we actually played. We played a really, really good ball game, and very solid, very sound. So I like the way we're playing right now. We know that when we get to Putnam on Friday, we know it's going to be a really true test, but we're going to have our team ready, and we're going to get out there and do the best that we can.
And we've been covering this program for a long time, and some 4 or 5 years ago, there was a very special group of girls here. Taylor Kennedy and some of the, Caitlin Duncan was on that team as well, and the list went on there as well. But this team seems almost like at a different level. This is a really special group. You got J.C. Bowen, you got Maddie Thomas, Allison Smith, Amber Williams. The list goes on. I mean, top to bottom. How special of a group is this for you?
They're very special to me. I've known these girls since they were probably 4th grade. Yeah. We've known what kind of potential they've had all these years. Yeah. We feel like, these girls they've never put a basketball down when basketball season's over with and pick it back up when basketball season starts again. They've always been kind of year-long basketball players at some point in time. They might take a little break, play another sport, but for the most part, they're playing basketball year-round. And, we've got a great balance of size. We've got a great balance of speed. Great inside game, great outside game. So we're very, very balanced, and it's showing on our, in our stats at the end of every game. It's very balanced, and we've got a lot of girls scoring. We've got several girls scoring double figures. Defensively, we're hard to we play great defense around the perimeter, but we're also play great underneath the basket. I think we had 12 blocks the other night against Rabun County. Yeah, but we're also shooting close to 50% from the three-point line that night. So it's a balanced team. There is a great tradition here in Banks County basketball when it comes to girls and boys, and we're just very, very excited. We always knew that this team could be something special, and we're really excited to see where we can go with it.
I think that it's very awesome how the two programs really mirror each other, and also in the fact that it's not just a one-name team or a two-person team. I mean, like you said, it's so balanced. And one night we were here, it was like J.C. Bowen was on fire in the first half, and then the second half it was all Allison Smith, and right. J.C. just did the other intangible things, So really cool to see that. I imagine that's part of the ingredients that make up what you need for this team to make a deep run. But from your perspective, what do you feel like this team needs to do to make, let's say, an Elite Eight or Final Four run this year?
Well, last year, and I've said this, people have heard me say this several times, is that we weren't a consistent team last year. And I feel like there's more consistency this year. We're going out and we're playing full ball games. We're not going out. It doesn't seem like we're just not showing up at night. So I feel like with this team, Even the games that we've lost, we've been in every game, and we had even the ones we lost that we haven't lost by very much, and we've given ourselves a chance to win every game. And even when we're down, so it's like the other day at North Hall, we were down. We weren't having our best game, and I don't think we were able to actually get a lead until the fourth quarter and pulled it out in overtime. So you never feel like you're out with this team, and you always feel like you got a chance to win. And I think we just got to continue that. I know that when one girl is not having such a good game that you might expect would have a good game, it seems like always somebody else steps up. And, like the other night we had at North Hall, we had 2 girls foul out. We had one foul out in the fourth, which was Amber Williams, and then we had Maddie Thomas foul out in overtime. And we had 2 girls step off the bench that, I try to tell them, understand what your role is on this team. I always tell them this, you never know when your number is going to be called. Be ready. So we had 2 girls that came off the bench. Melinda Garrison stepped off the bench and played real well down low. Picked up some big rebounds, and then we had Lena Parson that came in off the bench and knocked down a big 3-point play that made a huge difference in the game. So it takes stuff like that. We feel like we've got some depth, and I feel like those are the key ingredients moving forward, and hopefully we can continue to play that way. And hopefully, you want to get a lot of those losses that you get. It's good to get them kind of early in the year a little bit, and you want to be playing your best right here towards the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's hope that streak continues. I know you don't talk about it too much, but hopefully we'll see us get a region title here and make a deep run.
Yes, sir. That's our goal, and we definitely want to try to get farther than we did last year. And I believe we got the team to be able to do it if we can just hang in there.
Absolutely. It feels like the year of the Leopard because Banks County's having a great year all the way around every sport. So thanks a lot, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.